Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Pick Up and Play podcast, hosted by me, Scott, and my three good friends, Adam Conway,
Hello.
James Croxon,
Hello.
and Dan Jackson.
Hola, chicos.
Ah.
All right, start again.
In this week's episode, we will be talking through some important news that's happened this week in the gaming world. Croxon's news, we're touching that with the release or the new release information of the Xbox Series. We're going through some of the sports games that released this week with FIFA 21 and 2K21. We're going to have Croxon's Spurious News as per usual, and a little game section before we review this week's game, which is Rocket League. But first, over to Adam for Conway's gratitude section from last week's podcast.
First of all, that's not what it's called, okay?
It's called Gratuitous Conway.
No. It's called Critical Conway's Criticism Corner, all right? And the idea of the section is for when we get hate comments, and I'm going to read them out because I'm going to really enjoy that. Unfortunately, we've not got enough viewers or comments yet to have any hate. So, it's kind of good, kind of bad. But
It's been all love.
What it is this week is we're just going to give a shout out to the few people who did comment on our various social media platforms, such as Ryan Dougal, Rory Ferguson, and Jess. It just goes with the name Jess. All put very nice comments on our YouTube channel, and also Matt Jackson, who's Scott's Dan's brother.
Okay. Sorry.
Let's not talk about his comment because it's just stupid.
It means so much more than you think it does.
It really doesn't.
I really don't think it does. And we also had some kind words on Twitter from Jess and Kieran. Also, a shout out to KiindaLiinda, who is a fellow podcaster who just had her first episode come out last week as well. She does a gaming podcast about women in gaming and the struggles that they face. Just trying to play games normally, like us, something that we can't really relate to.
I hate it.
But I haven't listened to it yet, but I do intend to. It sounds very interesting because it's a sort of side of gaming that we don't.
I listened to a little bit of it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah,
and she's got some guests on there from us guessing some friends and stuff, and it's pretty good. So we'll contact Kinder or Linda, whichever she goes by, and ask if she's okay with us to drop the links to her stuff in our bios.
Definitely.
Videos. But yeah.
So that's it for Conway's critical Conway's criticism corner for this week. So if you want to be read out on next week's episode, give us some hate comments. I'd love it.
Yeah,
Preferably aid the James, please,
or not. So let's get going. So just a couple of things I wanted to talk about before we get into Croxon's news, which I think is going to take up a big part of the first part of tonight. But it's just I want to talk about sports gaming and where do we go, because two big sports games. One was released. Obviously, 2K21's been out now for like a week, and FIFA released all their sort of player ratings and stuff.
And I was just thinking, demo. Sorry,
and a very bad demo. And obviously I'm a big 2K21 NBA player, like fan. I am. I do buy them every year, and this year it just looks terrible. It's just like basically, I was doing some reviews and stuff, and basically people are just saying it's like a rip-off, really. It's a copy and paste of last year. They've got absolutely no new content. They've done everything they can, really. It's like a bit of an afterthought because the new game gets released this time every year, and then the next gens are coming, so they're not really bothered. And it's absolutely
NBA or FIFA.
So this is NBA. The NBA 2K.
Sounds like you could be talking about either of them. To be honest,
you could literally talk about any sports game.
This is exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. Like, where do they go? Are they just going to continue to rip each other off from the last series and improve nothing forever, and people keep buying them?
I would say probably yes, because especially FIFA, it just makes so much money, too much money, and they're not even putting out a good product anymore. It's just literally crap.
Yeah.
I'll still buy it. That's the problem.
Well, the thing is with FIFA, so 2K21, the basketball game in comparison, come out, and the Mamba edition, which is like the special edition, obviously in light of what happened this year with Kobe Bryant. It's £85. So it's like $100 in America. And they release a special edition every year, like some sort of like platinum-y type edition, where it's the same price. It's not like it's a special one because Kobe passed away. Is they do it every year. Last year, I think it was on it last year. Maybe Giannis was on it, and then LeBron the year before. And then normal is like £55. It's just an absolute rip-off. £85 every year.
Same with
And
FIFA. They'll do it with like. Go on, James.
I was going to say, Scott, are you still going to buy it though?
No, absolutely not.
Ooh.
I'll wait till it comes out in some sort of free download like it did this year, about halfway through the season, because it's not worth it. It really is.
But I think that sort of thing's not exclusive to sports games. You see it with like Call of Duty. You'll get like I don't even know what they call it, like a gold edition, or it comes with extra skins or shit like that. It's just like a common thing now. And the problem is that people buy it and they pre-order it, and that's why you get 3 different editions of the same game with extra downloadable content. It's a massive rip-off, but people play it.
So do you think sports games have got no new sort of like innovative stuff coming in the future? Because it really is just football, American football and basketball, and that's it. 2K tried to do a golf game and it completely flopped.
Yeah, there's been a couple of attempts at tennis games as well. Did anyone used to play Virtua Tennis?
Yes.
Now that was great. That was the best game. Tin Henman.
That was probably the last
Fields.
sports game that I actually enjoyed playing.
Me and James used to go into Game Station or GameStop, whatever it was called, in the town centre, and just so because they had it on the PlayStation in there on the TV. Was it PS2 or PS3? PS3, and we used to stand there for like 45 minutes playing each other that game. And it was a really good game. The only other thing I think they could do is they could make a boxing game. That's something I would really like.
Yeah, there are boxing games out, but they're so technical. Have you ever tried playing them?
There's no new boxing game.
Is there not?
No, there's not been. Yeah, there's loads of UFC games out. That's sort of taken this to the front, really, but no new boxing game for a long, long time since like the old Prize Fight Night, whatever it was called. And a new Fight Night would be epic because a lot of people would buy it. Following like a career mode.
They seem to make those sort of games too simulation-y, like too technical. They're more fun as an arcade game, right? In general, fighting games. I think everyone would agree with that.
I mean, possibly, yeah, but. It's something I wished would happen, but I don't think it's going to happen because obviously the licensing in boxing and stuff is massive, and there's so much money involved. It's not as easy as it is with things like FIFA and basketball.
But I saw the sport fan. What do you make of all of this?
Well, okay. I'm glad you came to me because I'm wondering what happened to Pro Evo. When I was younger, it used to be Pro Evo or FIFA, and then everyone's like, "No, Pro Evo this year, it's the better one." And so I thought, this rivalry will just transcend time, but obviously time has caught up.
It had a big push this year because there was a lot of controversy with FIFA in that community. So everyone, like all of their top players and top professionals, started playing Pro Evo, but ultimately the game was just crap, even more than FIFA, and it died out really quickly. I've never seen so many people so keen for something to work, and it not work.
Pro Evo was a free download on like the Game Pass on Xbox, and I'm not sure about PlayStation from pretty early on. It was part of their Game Pass and stuff, which just shows how shit it is.
So, Dan, what is your motivation for buying the new game when it comes out?
I bought every FIFA.
I know, but
so. I mean, they make minor tweaks and shit like that, but to be fair, I've never played a FIFA less than I have this year's one, just because it was so boring. It was so bad and dull to play.
And never have you ever had more time to play it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And I haven't played it. I haven't really played it since December. Like, I'll pick it up every now and again. And this is coming, like, I'm a huge FIFA fan. I've played it for years.
Do you play online?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Ultimate Team, like, I love it. But this year's, I don't know what it was. It was just dead. It was just crap.
I think that what's happened is with football games, like especially when I started playing, I've bought every FIFA since, I think, FIFA 2002, which is the first one I can remember buying on, like, a PS2, I think.
Mate, nothing beats FIFA 99, all right?
I remember that game, Thierry Henry. His head was just one massive lip. It was all blended into each other.
But I played that game, and I think that what happened is every year I bought it because the graphic advancements in those games were massive every year, and it made football look more and more and more real. And then
is there a stage that is now plateaued?
It's just exactly that, and I'm hoping that maybe as it goes into the next gen phase, maybe that will will change it. But talking about that, let's move on. Let's go to Croxton's news, because I started to sort of verging on the next gen phase. I'm thinking there might be something in there regarding this week. So it's over to Croxton's news.
Makes me laugh every time.
That's extra news this week.
Croxton's spurious
Extra
news.
dubious. So, Croxton's dubious news disclaimer. All news stories are rumour, not to be taken as fact. All comments should be taken as such and likely nothing more than ramblings and nonsense, much like this disclaimer.
I'm not laughing again.
It gets me every time.
First off, on the news hit, we always hit off with Warzone news. First off, killer heartbeat sensors.
What?
So this is more of a glitch in the game than sort of dubious news. But
That'd be a shit addition to the game, wouldn't it?
Where did you get this news from, James?
No, it's been shown on various YouTubers' accounts and various bits where the heartbeat sensor, you know, where we would normally get a little bit of lag as we open up our heartbeat sensors. It's now got to the point where random other players are getting a kill based on them opening the heartbeat sensor.
No way, are you serious?
Serious, there's genuine footage, and we can add something to the link dump or something like that just to show a few of these clips. But it is absolutely ridiculous, and the kill cam is of a player on the other side of the map, not contributing at all to this, and just running around, running his own business.
Wait, so the person with the heartbeat sensor gets killed or gets a kill? I'm not sure.
No, the guy opens his heartbeat sensor and dies immediately.
Oh my god! So basically, what you're saying is we all need to run around just continuously open heartbeat sensors just to try
Until
and get kills.
No, we will die if we open a heartbeat sensor.
Oh, you explained it.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening.
All good.
What hope have we got for listeners if you're not even listening?
They probably have more attention span than Daniel Jackson.
Oh God, so does a.
So that's not even a rumor. That's not even a rumor. That's actual truth.
Yeah,
that you've got video footage of that.
Yeah, but people claim they've got video footage of like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and that, don't they?
Well, this isn't fuzzy, like blurry VHS footage.
Oh, mate, send it to me. I can make it blurry. Just to say, this is Croxton's source.
Discredit me entirely. Brilliant. Okay, and next up is a season 6 release rumor for underground train stations in Verdansk. There's been a few rumors with this based on some of the imagery from the tournament fights that have gone on in the stadium match. At the victory stage, which Dan, you won a game, didn't you?
Of what?
You won a tournament, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so on the victory screen, as you get all the fireworks up, on that image, there's a train station where there isn't usually one on the map.
Oh.
And along with that, again, it comes down to a little bit of data mining, but apparently there's lower levels. Again, it's the same stuff that we found out when we knew Stadium was going to open up. It's
How
the
do you
same
have all this
sources
time to data mine so much, Croxton?
Do you think I know how to data mine?
I'm not sure you know what data mining is.
So there could be some train stations,
which is against another way to move around the map.
I think that we've been talking about map developments with COD
and changes,
and changes literally since it was released, and one has happened.
Yeah, I'd like to see like a major event. Like I thought with the stadium or whatever, and there was like rumors about a submarine under the ice at the top of the map or whatever. I thought we'd see like a big explosion or something, like a major map change or a completely new area.
Again, but Activision are kings of actually teasing the fuck out of things that never come to fruition, like the wolf sounds, the apparent zombie sounds in certain sections of the maps.
Yeah.
None of that's come to fruition, and it's just been something to spark.
I think that's just stuff
more hype about the game. And
still going on now. I was there recently.
Smart people.
Is that not just stuff for Cold War?
Potentially. Again, when we had the audio clips and stuff released for the nuke, that was then attributed to the live event. But then there's still again rumours of a major map change, and that will come from the bunker nuke.
Okay.
And again, is that meant to then cause the transition? Verdansk is gone, and that's going to be the transition into.
I don't think we're going to see many more changes to the map.
Not in this life cycle. It's on its way. I mean, the season pass is due. I think it's the end of the 28th of September.
End of the month, yeah.
End of the month, and it did say. This season is finishing. That's due to end on the 28th, and then after that, it's normally the Wednesday following or the Tuesday following. There's a huge 50 gig update, and it did say if you buy this battle pass, you will get enough points to purchase the next battle pass for season 6. So, are we getting a season 6 before? Which potentially, if it was 50 days, that would lead us quite nicely up to Cold War release.
Yeah, that would indeed.
And why not completely? And they're not likely to throw the entire map out for one more season. They've eked it out long enough; they can hold out now. What's your thoughts on sort of major map changes on there, Dan?
I don't know. I'm thinking more along the lines of Fortnite, but I guess it's a lot harder to do with a more realistic game. Whereas Fortnite would just add a new area, or
add a new area, or just have a dinosaur versus
exactly
robot.
Yeah. Which I mean would be great, but it's not really fitting in with the theme of the game, is it? I reckon with Cold War we might see some major map changes, if not a new map
Cold War
altogether, which would be cool.
Love it. We've hit a little bit of Fall Guys news, which is
Fall Guys, man.
It's been now confirmed, and I think Dan will appreciate this just for the name of it. But there is apparently going to be it's now confirmed by the developers, but a giant randomly spawning hammer called Big Yeetus.
What's it called? Big Yeetus.
Big Yeetus.
Big Yeetus. Oh my god!
But it has now been confirmed, and it will either bash you out or it could potentially knock you to the end of the map, and it's confirmed by the developer now. So I'm going to have a go once this comes out just to see what the score is.
I mean, anything with the name meat in it, it's got to be worth it.
I'm sorry, it was shit the first time round, getting smashed off the map, and Massive Hammer making it even harder. It's not going to make me want to download it again.
If anyone didn't listen to the last episode, if you do, you'll find out how much Scott hates Fall Guys. It's a lot.
It's completely not over it either, is he?
I'm certainly not going to download it again. I don't even want any more news.
Did you delete it?
And I feel bad about that, Scott, because your girlfriend really likes it.
I'm not going there. But yes, anyway. Coxon, what other news you have from us other than fucking Fall Guys?
Moving swiftly on. Well, actually, I'm going to use you for this a little bit, Scott, because I am not an Xbox guy. I don't enjoy the Xbox style of play. I don't like the console that much. But there's been huge, massive release for the two consoles and the price points of the Xbox X and the Xbox S. I haven't got a Scooby what the difference is, and I can't be bothered to check it out. So, Scott, can you want to give us a bit more info?
I think out of the four of us, I'm probably the only. I've always flitted between Xbox and PlayStation, and now I've just got both. So I was umming and ahhing about what to do, what to get, Xbox, which Xbox to get, and then whether I get that or PlayStation. And I've agreed to myself I'm probably going to buy both, but so Xbox are releasing. Obviously, it come out this week. The price points and the dates and the pre-order dates for Xbox Series X and the Series S. So basically, the X is like the big one, and the S is the little one. And it. To be honest, there is a major difference, and the major difference is the price. The big one, the Xbox Series X, is at $499. That's in dollars. I don't know what it is in pounds, but it's going to be around $450. And then $299, the price point for the Series S. And then basically, so that's quite a substantial difference. It's 200 quid there. And so, what do you get in difference for it? So the X is basically. Much better, really.
I really thought I was going to get some more detail out of you than that, Scott.
I am going to give you more detail, but I don't want to get too bogged down in like the numbers with it. But basically, it's got exactly the same CPU. The X, the big one, has got a terabyte of storage, whereas the S has got 500, which is ridiculous, really, because the S is the digital version with no disc, so you need more storage on the S. In comparison to the X, which is still.
So you're going to end up buying like a terabyte or two external hard drive for the Xbox.
It's got a slot in the back. They've both got a slot in the back for a 1T external. What on earth did you say that?
Where did that come from?
Rocket League flashbacks. That's
Rocket League flashbacks.
Okay, so yeah, there's space for a 1 terabyte external disk to be plugged in, but the main difference comes in the GPU, the teraflops, which basically is the graphic processing unit. The Xbox X has got 12 teraflops, whereas the S has got 4. So the major difference when you buy a new console is you want to see a major difference in graphics, I think, and the speed and stuff. And you're not really going to get it, I don't think, with the S. It is going to be good, but it's going to basically be at 2K, whereas the X is going to be at 4K completely.
I mean, the whole point with this next generation of gaming is that there is meant to be no loading screens. You're meant to just be able to switch something on and it is there.
Oh, finally!
It's
So
meant to
that
be
means you can save a
instantaneous.
clip and it'll be instant. It'll be great.
Yes. So, but in terms of the two consoles, they're basically both going to be able to do it. There's going to be no real difference in terms of performance in that sense, loading, saving, stuff like that. You're going to see a major difference really in graphic. But you're also going to be a major fucking difference in the size, because the X, although, so I watched an unboxing and the S is really, really small. Like I would have likened it to a little bit bigger than a PS1. It's tiny, which is really, really, really key, especially if you're going to have multiple consoles. Whereas the X, although yes, it's not as big as it looks like in the pictures, it doesn't. It's fucking a stupid size. It's like a square block. Doesn't fit in any media system. So if you've got like a TV stand with a normal size hole, it doesn't fit in there. So you've got to have it on the floor, which looks absolutely ridiculous. All these media systems that people have got, it doesn't fit. It looks a little bit like a mini tower for a computer, and
Right, okay.
it looks good. Don't get me wrong, it looks great, but it's just too big. So that's my.
It's not really going to be like a centerpiece for the house for you to stick out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the main difference, really.
And you know what the clever little boffins over at Sony have done off the back of this, where they haven't released any of their prices yet. They've, whether it's them or not, I don't know. Again, dubious news. But they've then released the data that they are drastically cutting their price.
Yeah.
We haven't got their price yet. So they can say they've cut it all they like and still release their regular price. And all the PS fanboys, myself included, are going to lap that up and go, "Oh, I'm getting a great bargain here," regardless of whatever price they release it at now, because they're trying to match as best they can.
Yeah, but the thing is with PlayStation, have they been caught out by how cheap Xbox is? Because the S, which is a pretty good, I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
I can't imagine anyone was expecting it to be sub $250 sterling.
No, that's ridiculous. I'm sure, because I mean, what do you guys think of Xbox releasing both series at the same time, the Biggie and the Little? Whereas, because PlayStation would normally release their first one, then about in 3 years' time, then release a slimmed down version. They're releasing both at the same time. What do you guys think of that?
I think that's better. I think they should do that. It's better for the customer to just be able to know what they can get. Because
there was always that case.
Like buying a PlayStation 4 like 2 years after it's released, and then like 1 year
Here comes
later,
the PS4 Pro.
Yeah. But also, I had not seen the image of the Xbox Series X yet. It looks absolutely awful. That is horrible.
Well, you say that
block, like a.
It looks slicker than the PlayStation.
It looks like a speaker.
It does not look slicker than the PlayStation. It looks
the PlayStation looks like a Wi-Fi router.
Yeah, but it's got like curved edges and stuff, and it looks kind of cool. This just looks like an old school speaker, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Xbox looks rubbish. Like, I mean, the PS does look like a Wi-Fi router, but the Xbox looks just like a block, a speaker block. That's literally what it looks like.
It is a block, and it will go well on a media system if you could fit it in it. But you can't.
So basically, it's useless. The design is pointless.
Yeah, they should have gone white for the PS5.
Have you looked at the S, the Series S? Because the S is white. It's a tiny.
S, that looks like, it actually does look like a speaker. It looks like a little fire alarm speaker.
It's got 60% smaller, 60% smaller.
It looks like an intercom, like what they'd shoot to, like on a high school drama thing, right? Like when you get called to the principal's office and that thing's sort of blasting at you. That's what the Xbox S looks like.
Yeah. I know you guys are not big Xbox fans. I am. Basically, the Xbox is going to basically outperform the PS5, but and I'm going to probably buy the S because of the price, because I'm going to buy a PS5 as well. I think the PS5 is going to come in over 500 quid because Sony always seem to manage to be able to demand more money because it's Sony, and it will still outperform the Xbox in terms of sales.
Maybe, but also if you're choosing one console over the other for performance, like if you're really bothered about performance, you should be playing on PC, really.
Yeah, 100% agree. There's not much difference between the two for the likes of me and you. We're not going to notice a major difference, are we?
I don't know. You might see. I mean, you might see a bit of a difference.
I mean,
one of the other problems is that obviously the new gens are designed because they can play at 8K potentially. The S won't be able to do that; it just won't do it. But the Xbox X Series X has got the potential to play at 8K, and so will the PS5. But the problem is, 8K televisions are thousands and thousands and thousands, so it's way in front of its time. That's the problem. So it's fucking pointless anyway. You might as well play on PS4.
Very true.
But I am looking forward to it. So let's move on. Next slot in the show is I wanted to do a little quiz. It's a gaming quiz. You three against each other. So welcome to Scott's quiz.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
I was not expecting this either. So
No, this is not fun enough.
Please do Bruce confession.
It's a really, really, really straightforward quiz. It's just 5 questions, all right, and you guys are going to get 1 guess each, and obviously whoever gets the most out of 5 wins. So it's tense. So are you ready for question number 1? There's no buzzing in.
Okay, how do we choose?
Do we all get a chance to answer?
You're all going to have a chance to answer. I'm just going to come to you one at a time. I won't tell you the correct answer till you've all answered. Okay? Sure. So question number 1. What is the name of the last Sega console to be released in the US? And it's the same in the UK.
That's harder than I thought. Why have you come in so hard?
It's really not that hard. When you hear it, you will...
Is it the Dreamcast?
Well, you know what? So I'm going to come to you and ask you for your answers. Conway, what's your answer?
Dreamcast.
Croxon?
Dreamcast.
Dan?
This quiz is flawed. If everyone's going to copy my answer.
Yeah, we should buzz in. Let's buzz in.
How are you going to buzz in?
Well, we all have our own thing. So, like, I'll say, like, I don't know. Yeah, Dan. And then Adam will go.
Say your name. Okay, fine. But you were correct.
Oh,
it was a Dreamcast. So you're all on 0 because my quiz is flawed. Question number 2. Fingers on buzzers. What's the average time spent by a Fortnite player every week?
Dan.
On that game. Go.
40 hours. Didn't think about
40 hours?
The average Fortnite player.
Sorry, that seems way too much, actually.
Yep. Conway?
10 hours.
Croxon?
12.
Conway?
Oh, go on. Yeah,
correct. 6 to 10 hours by the average Fortnite gamer.
Yeah, because
I don't know what I was thinking.
The average will be brought down massively by casual
user, yeah.
By the casual player, exactly. Okay, question number 3. So Conway's out in front 1-0. Mario should be. Mario originated in which game?
Donkey Kong. Oh, Adam, Donkey Kong.
Oh.
Correct. 2-0. Question number 4. What is the name of the character / hero from Metal Gear Solid?
Dan.
Dan?
Snake. Solid Snake, innit?
Correct. Solid Snake. Coxon, you're out.
Out.
I don't even know what the rules are.
This is a chaotic
These rules are evolving as we go.
Question number 5 and final. Dan, this is for the tie / win, and Adam, this is for the win clear out in front. Nintendo, as a company, began selling what?
Adam, cards. Like playing cards.
Oh,
correct.
God.
Yeah.
Conway.
Well done. You've won this week's quiz. Congratulations. You win. Nothing. You win the. You can make the quiz up for next week.
Okay.
And that's all for Scott's quiz.
Woo! Adam continues to be a bang out.
Well, that brings us nicely onto our review of Rocket League this week.
Hold on, I don't think it does, because whilst we're in the gaming section of our podcast, Dan has a game that he's decided he wants to make up as well.
Oh, God, yeah.
Make up a game?
No, Dan's story corner.
I've got a story, yeah, and this is a true story as well.
A funny story.
So, like, what this story needs is it needs your imagination, right? So, I need you all to close your eyes and imagine, like, you're in the game, like you're on Warzone, you're looking at it, and this is real. This is happening right now. Okay? Right.
What are we in quads, solos?
Quads. Quads. James is in the team. James is in the team, and that's very important. All right. Right. You've just won a tough, drawn-out gulag. Hands sweating and shaking, you drop back into the war zone, ready to fight. Flying through the air, you spot the perfect building next to your teammates to regain that precious loot that you have lost. You see a shiny orange box. Brilliant, you think. This will do nicely. As you run towards it, you hear a door slam open. It's okay, you think. It's my teammate. You approach the box, But just as you're about to hit that square button, your teammate slides in front of you and steals your loot. It's James Croxon, and he's stealing your loot. You look at your pistol and ask, why? He says, I didn't know. But it's clear for everyone to see he did know. He did know.
What a funny story.
That was good.
That was brilliant. I was there.
I'm pretty sure we can call this section Tales from Verdansk.
Tales from Verdansk.
If you could give us a dramatic reading every week, Dan, of one of our
I can. And the thing is, these are all true stories.
Again, I would love to see the footage.
I felt like I was there. I really did.
I know, isn't it?
I know, I was immersed in it. I had my eyes closed and I could really, really feel it. I was dropping on, and I could feel it happen.
I was dropping on Roof of Bastards. I don't know about you.
Yeah, exactly. You just see Croxon running around below you, and you try to avoid him, but he just follows you in.
On that note, let's move on to this week's game review, which was chosen by James. So I'm going to let him introduce the game and get things going.
Rocket League. I am so glad I picked this because I don't know about you guys. I had so much fun playing this week.
Yeah,
it's the most fun I've had gaming in ages. It was so fun.
It was fun. I have to admit I had played it before, but only very briefly for about 20 minutes against the CPU. So, but yeah, it's the first time I played it online, and it's the first time I played it with my friends, and it is a really good multiplayer game.
Awesome. So much better than the last time I played it, which was like 7 years ago. Bearing in mind, I didn't play it with friends. I played it on my own, and it wasn't that fun.
My only exposure to this game prior was playing it in a gaming bar. And like, you know, where you had Xboxes or like PCs like linked up to the screens in the pub, and playing it, but you're always half cut by the time you get to it, so you never take in the actual how good the game is.
Yeah, it's a really good multiplayer game. It is good fun. It is also fucking very hard because people, I mean the game's clear.
Yeah, we have not mastered the finer skills of that game by any means.
No, we have
mastered the basics.
I think it's difficult to master the basics in a week.
It's hard, isn't it? It's very hard. Like to predict where that ball's going and to actually just get it where you want it to go. Can
I ask you a question? This is my main question about this game in terms of what you guys would think is better in terms of the camera. Ball focus or non-ball focus?
Ball focus.
Ball focus, but non-ball focus when you want to smash people, because that is you need that for the aim.
So I do ball focus all the time, and then I quickly switch it off if I'm trying to get like one of those full boost pads things. If I quickly want to get some boost, and I turn it back on again. Yeah, you can't not focus on the ball. That little arrow that comes up when you're not focused on it, God, it just doesn't help at all.
Does anybody have more fun playing in non-competitive online games?
No, I like the competitiveness of it because it's a good judgment of how bad you are. Like, are we going to get beat 6-0? Have we got a slightly better and only getting beaten 3-0? Are we playing someone who's just as bad and we might get a lucky win? You never know. That's what's great about it.
Obviously, you can't play the quads. Is that right? You couldn't play. You
can't play quad competitive mode, unfortunately, because I would love to have been able to rank up a little bit and progress with our opponents, but let's be honest, we only won about 50% of our games anyway.
I think it's probably less than that.
Yeah, that seems very generous.
We had an epic game. We had an absolutely epic game with this other quad, and it was in sudden death or whatever you call it at the end.
Overtime.
And the overtime went on for 7 minutes of the worst Rocket League game ever possible.
There was literally a passage of play where the ball just stayed still and the cars were literally flying around the ball and no one was touching it.
And let's be clear, that wasn't just us driving around it was the other team as well, which shows how evenly terrible we were.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who's listening to this podcast who doesn't know, obviously this is a podcast about gaming, but that isn't to say that we are any good at fucking gaming. Right? We are royally shit at most games, okay? And that's why I just make that clear. So if anyone's going to think, I'll watch some of their videos because they're really good, think again.
That's why it's called the Pick Up and Play podcast, not the Sweaty Bastards podcast.
Although, Adam, you were like, I mean, the level's not high, but you were pretty good at that. I'll give you that.
I was better than you guys, and that's not to say that I'm actually any good.
No, that is fair.
If it wasn't for Conway, he was our defender and our main attacker, which basically says everything you need to know. It was just us three driving around in circles.
So
hold on. So for one game, what's actually obviously I got very, very angry in this game was because we were getting absolutely humped by this other team, and we were in a 4. And when I turned around in my little car to see what was going on, it was Dan just doing little manoeuvres on his own.
Donuts
in a circle, not trying to win the game, not trying to participate, not trying to contribute. And that really, really, really angered me, and I'm glad I logged off after that game.
What you don't realise, Scott, is that's called tactical defending. Because like they're going to be thinking, what's he doing? Where's he going to go? I don't know where to shoot. Because he's just spinning around in circles.
Yeah, they're going to have then they scored.
Yeah, but that's because I don't know how to play the game.
So I should say at this point that there is going to be a video that accompanies this podcast showing our adventures in Rocket League, and a lot of the things we're talking about here, you'll see them playing out in front of your eyes, including Dan going absolutely spare at Scott, bashing him out the way of a goal scoring opportunity. But it was not Scott, and the video evidence shows exactly.
I've got to correct you. It was at Croxon. It was at Croxon because Croxon was throwing a tantrum. And right, just to give you some backup story before this, there was at least 2 occasions where Croxon had previously bashed me out of the way of hitting this ball or tackled me. Right, so I was well within my rights to assume this was Croxon.
This was so unjust.
Yeah, looking back at the replay, it was not you at all. It was actually the opponent. But I do apologise. But I do not apologise for why I thought that in the first place.
But Dan, it wasn't the opponent. It was Croxon.
No,
Croxon
it wasn't.
didn't touch me. It didn't. I reviewed it. It wasn't. It was the opponent.
Sorry, listeners. We're talking about 2 different disputes that happened. There's one where you go mad at Scott, claiming it was Scott.
God.
I think I'm owed it. I think
it
I'm
was
owed
actually
Croxon in general.
Okay.
Oh
so,
no!
This is a just.
I'm owed an apology in general, right? Because I get a lot of stick and I get a lot of backlash because I'm shit. And so I'd be like, oh, let's do 2 versus 2. Let's do automated teams. And then when they get, they go, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm with Scott. And I'm actually not that bad. In my IMO, I am not that bad. I'm probably better than Croxon.
Oof, I don't know. It's hard to defend.
That is right. Who's better at Warzone? Let's put that out there. Who's better at Warzone?
This is between a rock and a hard place. This one. I don't know. Conway, you could choose.
It's definitely me.
I'll just go purely by their kill to death ratios, and so obviously Croxon's last, Scott's
exactly.
If I was playing the duos, I would rather play with Croxon's play style because he is a bit more prone to going a bit more attacking and actually trying to shoot people, whereas you're very happy to sit in the building for the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. And win. At least I won't steal your loot.
Oh yeah,
Twice you pay.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, exactly. So back to Rocket League before we go off on another tangent. So we've clarified that obviously I'm the better gamer, and you're all infinitely sorry for how you treated me this week. Back to Rocket League. A couple of criticisms I've got Rocket League. So yes, it was fun. It was fun to actually play. What annoys me is that the pitches are exactly the fucking same every game. What they could have changed it up a little bit, I think. There could be some different designs and stuff in the, in.
What do you mean?
Pitch.
There are different designs, are there not?
In terms of the layout of the floor, it's just a different it's just like a different skin over the pitch, is it not?
Yeah, but I guess
Scott, when you play football,
pitch.
you want different terrain when you play at different pitches.
Croxon, Croxon. If I was playing football, I'd be playing FIFA, wouldn't I? If my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike.
There is one of the maps. I'm not sure it comes up online, but there is one of the maps where sort of the outer edges, the left and right edges, are raised. There's
it could be like 2 joint half pipes in the middle or something. I don't know, something different because it's that way. It's that sort of game just to make things a bit different.
Kind of, if it was like that, it would kind of ruin the game, wouldn't it? Because imagine you have like a shot and it just rebounds off a hill.
It does that anyway.
Well, yeah, but that's because we're wildly inaccurate. But if you're actually good at the game, it might be okay.
So I think they could maybe do something like that, and also the car customization's crap, isn't it?
I disagree completely. What you're talking about?
No, I'm sorry. My car was
Mr. Lime Green on the top of my car. No, I'm all for that.
Sloth on top.
Yeah.
Are you going to say that it's not good customization because you didn't customize your car well?
No, because they're the stupid sort of things you can put on top.
You can also put nothing on top. What would you want to put on top, Scott?
Hold on. What I'm saying is you should be able to customize your car to make your car better.
What, faster?
To make it faster. Jump higher. That's I think
it wouldn't be even then, would it? It's like saying let's play Warzone and make my players faster than everyone else.
It would be if you did like skill-based lobbies.
I don't know, Scott.
I'm not.
This sounds like a bad idea.
Right. Well, fine.
What, you want to be able to like level up how fast your car goes and stuff?
Yeah.
But then you
create different
with a crap car.
And well, that's fine. That's where everybody starts. Like when you start any other game in the world, you start off crap. Like the same as if you play a sport game, when you play Warzone, your loadouts are crap. You haven't got optics, you haven't got this, you haven't got that, whatever. But that's how every other game seems to work.
I like the idea of it's purely a skill-based game because everybody's got
skill is your learning curve, and that's how you improve and you go up your ranks rather than improving. And then games just become pay to play.
Yeah, exactly. That's
paying through the nose to boost up your.
That is a good point. That is a good point. And that's one of my biggest pet hates is pay to play. So what about this? I think you're going to agree with me on this front. In this whinge is the loading screen and like the interface and is crap, and the party joining system is shit. Like that's not very good.
There's often quite confusion about whether or not we were in the same game, or if when you leave a game, do you bring your whole party with you, or
exactly. The lobbies and stuff. I didn't think of it.
Yeah, I would say that's a minor complaint, though, isn't it? In the grand scheme of things.
I don't know how they haven't made that more streamlined in like the 7 years that they've been going.
Yeah,
Rocket League.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because it's been out a long time.
Hmm.
What was it? 2013? Someone said, I think.
Yeah, I did say that, and I had to fact check myself after Dan quizzed me, and it is 2015.
Oh, right,
okay.
It has been out 5 years, and it's only now this summer going to free to play online. So it hasn't had that need to.
So it's been paid.
It's been paid. Like you have to have the online subscription to be able to play it online, essentially, or play against other
for 5 years.
Yeah, for 5 years they haven't had to drop their pants and like try and get a new player base by going free to play this early. They've done 5 years quite comfortably. They've had esports out of this as well. There's been plenty of leagues, and there's been genuine like money to be made off this. So
yeah, I would like to.
That it's dropping your pants to go free to play. I think it's just a good business model. They're just going, oh, where's the most money at? Oh, it's here. I don't think they're back against the wall and they're going, oh God, what can we do to make this company survive? I think they're just doing it because it's a good business decision.
And because
my point is they haven't had to do it at any point. They've had a consistent player base and a strong player base up to this point. They've now got to the point we don't necessarily need to have it as a paid option. Here you go.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the great thing about this game is it's just like a good old-fashioned party game. It's extremely fun to play.
It's too hard to play a party game. People are too fucking good at it. You have to sit there and be immersed in it.
But it has been out for 5 years, and we've only been playing it a week. But come on, you got to admit it. It was way more fun than Fall Guys. I loved playing it. I would easily keep on playing it after this podcast. I think it makes some really nice changed.
It was a good game. I will keep the game. I will play a little bit more. For example, after we finished the podcast for last week with Fall Guys, I definitely went straight down there and deleted it, as probably most of you guys did. But Rocket League, I probably will keep. Rocket League, I will probably keep, and we'll probably keep playing with you guys for a little bit. It is a good, it is a good pick up and play game. It's pretty easy to get the hang of in terms of controls and stuff. It's just not that easy to be good at, I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great fun. Like, there was moments when I was like shouting at my TV, and my girlfriend literally had to come in and tell me to shut up because she was worried the neighbours could hear me. It was that kind of fun, the right kind of fun.
Yeah, that happened to me and Scott as well.
Yeah. So I mean, positives all round, I think.
So I mean, we didn't play any of the actual sort of versus the CPU stuff, and I think it depends what sort of gamer you are. But I personally quite like playing against computer and try and go through the leagues and stuff. I think that's probably where you'll become a better player at if you was to do that a little bit more.
You're going to improve playing online as well. And there's also training that you can do. So when you see players that are jumping up in the air, like doing boosts and staying in the air and hitting really high balls, there's training that you can do, like learn how to do that. And it's quite useful. It's still really hard, but at least you've got an idea of how it's done.
So let's crack on then. So what are we saying? Are you guys? Let's go around in like a round robin. Trash or pass? Starting with Dan.
It's a big pass from me. Loved it.
Croxon.
It's a big old pass.
Adam?
It's a regular-sized pass.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it out of 10, like a 6 out of 10 in terms of gaming, but it's a pass.
I'd give it an 8 or 9 out of 10. I think it's really good.
It's just not got
real
your neck. It's not an 8 or a 9.
It is. I think it's really good.
I would agree with an 8.
Now, in comparison to other games that you would give an 8. Right,
Scott, what, in your opinion, what is above an 8 out of 10 game?
Something like Zelda.
Right. Why?
Because it's one of the most amazing games ever, free open world roaming. Red Dead Redemption.
That's why I said I wouldn't give it any higher, because it's not got any depth.
GTA, the original Call of Duties, original Super Mario, stuff like this. Not fucking Rocket League for an 8. It's a pass. But
it ain't this Trunchbull of games.
Can you guys disagree? If you're giving something an 8 out of 10 in the whole world of gaming, you're going to give that an 8 out of 10 in comparison to other games.
It's really good at what it is.
I think for a very basic game, it does it really, really well, and it does clearly has longevity. And
yes,
we got wrapped up playing that for at least 3 hours the other day.
Yeah, Scott.
Any game that can grab you like that and keep you like that for 3 hours.
Exactly. Why do you play games, Scott? To have fun.
For multiple different reasons, to de-stress, to escape, all them sorts of things, to do things I can't do in real life.
Right. So you're telling me that driving a car around with rockets on it, playing football, isn't something you can do in real life? This game's 8 out of 10, all over it.
No way. Real. So
let's not fall over out of this rating. Guys. Come on.
No, I'm sorry. I'm livid about this rating. I'm not giving it an 8 out of 10. It's nowhere near an 8 out of 10.
I was just saying this to be controversial.
No, it's not. It's just a solid 6.
You're trying to be like Simon Cowell.
The broad scheme of things, well, you'll let everyone through like Sharon. I'm going to call you Sharon.
It's literally the Victor Mildew of gaming.
Somebody please stand about this. Is not an 8 out of 10.
Who's going to back you up? We all think it's 8 out of 10s.
in the grand scheme of gaming, in the whole world of the plethora of games that have always been created, you're giving it an 8 out of 10. It's in the top 20 percentile of games ever. Fuck off.
There's a lot of shit games out there. Yeah, top 20%.
No way. You've played it for a week and you've outranked all the most brilliant games ever made. Dan doesn't even like games like Zero Horizon or Horizon Zero Dawn. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not saying I hated it. I just can't be bothered to play through a story game. So it's not really a fair opinion.
I'm the same. We should talk about that in another podcast, though.
Yeah, we should. Okay.
Story-heavy games versus pick up and play games.
It's a pass, but it's just a solid pass. It's nothing more than that.
Mm.
It's not anywhere near the breakneck's fault. I'm sorry. You won't be opening my doors today.
It's the challenge for us to convince Scott that it goes into the Vault of Greatness.
No. The challenge is for the game to be good enough.
So it's not going into the Vault of Greatness?
Absolutely not.
Can it go into the box of mediocrity?
Yes, it can go to the midst of mediocrity.
Okay.
Later tonight, we'll go and sneak it back out and put it in the other box.
You can put it wherever you want, mate. Put it next to your mum's bedside table and call it Graham if you like. It's not making it in. So let's move on to the final part of the show. Next week's game
Sorry, can I just pause you for 2 seconds? You sparked a little memory when you were talking about like Super Mario and that. Conway sent us a clip last week of a new Mario Kart-esque game coming out, and I'm not happy about it. Conway, just explain the concept.
Scott. Why, Croxon? Aren't you happy with it?
Shit.
Right, let's explain what it is. We'll put a link to it we'll put a link to it in the description of the podcast. But basically, it's called Mario Kart Live, and you play with literally little remote control cars, and you set up a track around your own house, and the cars have cameras on them, and so it augments the Mario Kart weapons and all the environment and stuff onto the camera. So you can sort of drive around your own house playing Mario Kart, basically. It looks...
VR Scalextrics.
Can I just make one point, please?
Yeah.
What is the point?
Seriously,
how many interesting maps can you make from your living room?
As many as you want. It doesn't have to be your living room, you boring man.
What is the point of having these little these little toy cars, which are all Marioed up and look all lovely, when you're going to be looking at your Switch anyway.
Yeah, you might as well just play proper Mario Kart.
So
Don't you see
everyone else sit there and enjoy watching it? Who the fuck is doing that?
Croxon, how original is this idea? I'm sorry, this is like the first thing of its kind.
Have you ever played Scalextric, Stan?
Of course I play Scalextrics.
It's not that original, then, is it?
Right, come on. Right.
Scalextrics,
It's Scalextrics for one.
Virtual Scalextrics.
It's a very original idea that
just because
incorporates
it's
racing
not
and gaming.
So it's not like Scalextrics at all.
Just because something is original doesn't mean it's good.
No, but what I'm saying is this is like a first from what I've seen of this kind of gaming. I think it's great. You can create your own track wherever you want and then drive on it with Mario Kart. Yeah, it's sick with the weapons and everything. How are you telling me that's not a good idea? If it works, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's so original.
How would you consider that working with a small dog in the house?
Well, I'll chase my dog with my Mario, wouldn't I? I'll throw mushrooms at it.
What if that's off the track? What if that's off the imaginary track that you've just built?
Well, it can be an obstacle, can't it? It's all part of the fun.
Look, guys, I don't
Godzilla.
think we'll have to see what happens. I don't think it's going to be a great edition. The reason no one's really heard of it is probably because it's going to flop. But we'll have to
you're
wait.
so negative. I can't stand it. Conway,
I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool idea. I'd really like to see
Are you gonna buy it?
people are going to do with it. Absolutely not, no, because I think it's going to be an absolute pain in the ass to set up, and it's probably
never going to work. It's never going to work.
If somebody else buys it, I'll have a go.
Yeah.
And that is probably as
How
far
I
as
feel
I'm
about
going to
hoverboards.
Exactly. Or Nintendo Wii's.
Come on, do you not think this kind of thing is like the future, like the future of gaming in a way? It's kind of like augmented reality, VR, and things like that. I love seeing new stuff like this because it's
VR, yes,
so different.
Reality, no.
I don't think VR is the future of gaming. I think VR is a part of the future of gaming. But that's why all the next gens have not included Mario Kart Scalextrics. Okay, that's why they're continuing to try and immerse themselves in 8K and stuff like that. Not Scalextrics. So, on that point, let's move on. So next week's show is.
I'm sorry, I'm just got to go back to it one more second.
Oh, God.
If you wanted to do that, just get a drone. It'll probably be cheaper. Stick your camera on it. You can fly around, or you can fly around. You haven't even got to drive around.
Yeah, the good thing is, if I crash Mario, it's not going to cost me £200.
It might do.
I'll just respawn.
Guys, you're just arguing now. Right, sorry. I'm not going back to it again, James.
Fine. Okay, over. Done.
Let's move on. So next week's game is chosen by Adam this occasion. So Adam, over to you, mate. What have you got for us?
Well, I was thinking about this long and hard. I had one game in mind for a while because it's a game I used to play as a sixth former in school when I was doing my BTEC. Not actually doing my BTEC. I was playing this game constantly on the computers, and it's called Endgame, and it's about this little ninja. Yeah, Endgame. And it's about a little ninja that you race around a track, and you've got to get him get the key and get the door and everything. And I wanted everyone to have a go at that and play it. So from your reactions, I guess no one's heard of it, right? No. Okay. So I didn't do that because it was going to be a pain in the ass to record on the PCs. I mean, you guys can hardly even record on your PlayStation 4s, so I wasn't going to get you to do it on your PCs. So I've chosen something that's on PlayStation Now because we've all got PlayStation Now, right?
Yes.
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 Okay, good. Yeah, good. And this game is going to be hilarious for us to play and watch.
Is it Iron Toast?
No, it's not Iron Toast. It's a fantastic 4-player game where we can all play on the same screen, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant.
It's wrestling.
WWE 2K19.
Yeah,
love it.
I'm not playing.
We're going to customize our own characters. We're all going to have our customized entrances, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
I absolutely love it. So this gives me the perfect excuse to finally put you through a table.
I'm not going to enjoy the gameplay, but the comedic value of this is phenomenal. I can't wait to play it.
Okay, that is the game for next week. A few first thoughts of it. That's shit. Because it's wrestling. Number 2, it's old. And number 3, I don't like wrestling.
Well,
Rocket League is older than 2K19 WWE.
Yeah, no, look, I know it's wrestling's just not my thing, but I think all four of us playing together. And also, have you guys ever played these wrestling games?
Of course, I love them.
Exactly,
Not
Dan.
in
Have
a
you
long
played this game 2K19, Dan?
Yeah, I've got this game. I bought this game.
This is my problem. So Dan's going to be infinitely better than us already. So
I'm taking it all out on you, Scott. You're going through tables. You're getting smashed with chairs. I'm pushing off ladders. All of my wildest dreams in my head, I'm going to do to you in virtual worlds.
And then I can't wait for you all to make you all play my game next week. So just on the point of games, if anyone's still listening after this 55-minute podcast, we are sort of open or interested in people making any suggestions or giving any sort of recommendations or requests, and we would like to hear from people and see if they've got any games that they enjoy and sort of good for multiplayers. And we're not just exclusive to multiplayers; it'd be any sort of game that people enjoy. So we would like to hear from anybody if they would want us to do that.
And don't forget to send Conway hate mail.
Yes, and
don't send it my way. Love it.
To send hate mail to Adam. There's also a thought of us in episode 5, which will be after my game the week following, about us doing an Xbox versus PlayStation sort of like talking sort of show about the new gens and stuff. So if that's something people would be interested in, let us know again. Anything from anybody else before we finish this week's podcast off?
Yes, you're so wrong about Rocket League. It hurts.
No problem. I'm okay with that. I've accepted it. It's an okay game, and that's as much as I'm going to give you.
Yep.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.